thank Mr. Vader. Now we move on to Europe. Germany's far-right party, AfD, has welcomed a court ruling it described as a victory for democracy, saying the decision strengthens political freedoms and the rights of opposition parties. The party said the judgment confirms its right to operate without undue state interference and protect voters' ability to choose freely at the ballot box. AfD leaders argued the ruling pushes back against what they call political stigmatization and attempts to marginalize the party. However, critics and opponents warned the decision could encourage far-right rhetoric and deepen polarization in German politics. Now we move on to Middle East. Rights Chief Volker Turk has said Israel's actions in the occupied West Bank and the Gaza Strip seem aimed at creating permanent demographic change. Speaking before the UN Human Rights Council, Turk has warned that these operations could be contributing to ethnic cleansing in the region. Turk has pointed in particular to an ongoing year-long Israeli military operation in the West Bank's north that has caused the displacement of 32,000 Palestinians. Separately, Amnesty International has condemned the international community's failure to hold Israel accountable for its violations of international law in the occupied West Bank, calling it a major factor in the irreversible annexation of Palestinian land. The human rights group accused global powers of emboldening Israel's far-right government, which has intensified its efforts to dispossess Palestinians. Now we welcome Mr. Ali Muhammad Bushbak. He's a Middle East researcher, joins us live from Cairo. Thank you very much, Mr. Bushbak, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, what more can you tell us about this ongoing situation and also UN's comments on West Bank?
Thank you, Osama, for having me. In things, the West Bank situation is very miserable, while Israel, we are not talking only about the Israeli settlement. Yes. We are not talking about only the Israelis, encouraged to immigrate the Palestinian from West Bank only, and the Israeli annexation in West Bank, is it legal or legal? We are talking about the action not only from the Israeli government, but from the settlers themselves, as well as they are trying continuously to make the life of the civilians from West Bank is a more miserable. Israelis settlers, they are continuously storming the Palestinians, the Palestinian camp. The Palestinians are also gathering. They are making their life miserable for the sake of making the life of the Palestinian incredible, and they will leave from West Bank to another places. The Israeli also settlers, insist and deliberately they are hand over several of Palestinians' land, and they are trying to make their life more miserable by attacking them. Recently, we hear, the news is not covering the situation, how much Israeli settlers, they are attacking the Palestinian civilians, innocent civilians from West Bank. Daily there is an attack, daily there is an clashes between civilians and Israeli settlers. We are talking about this kind of danger in the Palestinian community, not only from the Israeli government facilitated for this kind of group to attack the community of Palestinians, but Israeli government facilitated their action on the ground, as well as by the cover of the Israeli settler, by the cover of the Israeli police and Israeli army. They are attacking the civilians from West Bank. Also, there is, worth mentioning that and turn the attention of the audience. Itamar Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, the financial minister of Israel, he's always pledged to encourage the immigration from Palestine, not only from West Bank itself, but only from the whole Palestine. And he make a promise to restructure the settlement in Gaza and West Bank, make it as a promise for himself. As well as this kind maybe of this speech and the promise and the pledge, it's just only for an election and for just only political purpose, but in my opinion, on the ground, it's considered as a truly things, and it's considered and can translate on the ground. It's continuously Israel try to kill the civilians and making the life of the civilians in West Bank miserable, and also change the status quo in Jerusalem as well. As the same things happen. They are limiting for the Palestinians in this holy month to enter Al-Aqsa Mosque, at the most holy site for the civilians in Palestine and for all Muslim people. That's a kind of action make it the life of Palestinian more incredible and making the situation definitely change for sake of, departure the civilians from their land, from Palestine, and this ultimately what will happen, destroy the two-state solution, destroy the Palestinians' dream to establish their statehood, and this is a big challenge for the peace between Palestine and Israel, as well as this is put a danger for the socio-political coexistence between Palestine and Israel. Osuma.
So how do you analyze the current situation? As Hamas hasn't disarmed, but the talks continue. Where's the talks going? Or is it happening, the phase 2? Are they still pushing for phase 2?
In fact, about it, if it's Hamas disarmed or still arming, Benjamin Netanyahu is so happy with such kind of situation. There is a silent war in Gaza, and there is a silent annexation in West Bank, despite things, and despite all the international community condemn the Israelis' action and annexation, condemn the Israelis breaking violating the ceasefire in Gaza. But Benjamin Netanyahu is more happy with such kind of situation, make it neither war and neither peace, nor peace in Gaza as well as in West Bank. Palestinian Authority, it's more weak. There is no any representative for the Palestinian Authority to make any change on the ground. But these kind of things making the life and the situation of Palestine is more difficult. This is a very crucial moment, very crucial time for the Palestinian to challenge this kind of policy from the Israeli government. It's need for the Palestinian to gather and to think about a way to leave and to skip this kind of a crisis, because we are talking about Benjamin Netanyahu and his government coalition, far right wing, Ben Gvir and Smotrich. They are so thirst for the Palestinian blood. They are so thirst for the Palestinians, killing Palestinians and make their situation miserable. About we are talking also about the voluntarily departure or voluntarily leave Gaza and West Bank as well, because both of them, they are aligned in the same plan. Both of this, they evacuated Gaza and evacuated West Bank. It was the one aims for Israel. No doubt about the situation in East Jerusalem, how much miserable, and daily they are arresting civilians, and daily they make their life more miserable and incredible life in East Jerusalem. But there also the old situation about Israeli's policy on the ground make it more difficult, and despite the all international community condemn, but there is no any change on the ground, and nothing will change because that Benjamin Netanyahu. And today also the Israeli defense minister, he said, we don't need the word love us, we need the word afraid of us, we don't need the word to help us, we need to make sure about the word will afraid from us, and we will continue our policy on the ground. There is nothing will limit and stop Israel, because they are above of the international community, of the international law. And also, this is about a board of peace, Donald Trump, that how much it's failed and it's not making any change on the ground, and will not save the Palestinians' future, will not save the Palestinians' life as well. This piece of board, it's just only like a lie, and it's like to want to just only manipulate the international community and the civilians.
With that, yes, thank you very much, Mr. Ali Muhammad Bushbak, for joining us.